that makes sense. Everybody. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Right. You know why? No, it's the button that says on.
It's this button.
It's the button that says... Yeah, because I push my on button. Mike. No, like after you did that, we push the on button.
I hear her,
Oh, well. Push your on button.
On. Let's try. Hold on. Hold on. I heard someone singing. Why am I hearing someone?
Hello.
Is that you?
Yeah, you see, now we can hear you. Do I push my on?
Now you hear me because there's
Exactly.
on.
Because you push your on button. And what have I been
on.
saying this whole time? Can we push
No.
on the button?
No, I said you're pushing my buttons.
And you said we couldn't push the button.
Okay. It's not your button to
We can get
push.
started now.
Okay.
Well, that's your button to push, and this is my button to
Yay,
push.
we're ready to go.
Oh my
I was worried
God.
about me running late.
And like, can we
look
make
at
sure
this.
everybody's
Hold this.
on button is on?
Oh, right. I want to go back to what you had done.
All right.
We are the champions.
Again.
Hang on, I need to make sure my own button is on. All right, so
All right, well, I gotta go.
Are we doing?
It's nice having
We're doing Mike's. Are we doing
Right?
Mike's
We're ready.
skit?
It's like,
Yes.
Okay. Here,
and now for the commercial break.
oh,
you can act- so people on Facebook Live can see how we're actually doing this.
It's like the commercial break now.
And here's a word from Tito's. Hey, guess who's here? On. Rebecca Cronston.
How did we know? Hello, Rebecca.
She's awesome. She's from Australia.
Yeah, we love Rebecca. Where am I? Here.
All right. Where's this
Sorry,
mic
Facebook
so
Live.
high?
Right here, dear.
Hey, turn your phone
Okay.
down.
So let's.
Here.
I see
This is the Learfield Communications
All right.
Test Channel. If
So
you have any
you
questions
are
or problems,
here, and then we
please
go
call Learfield Engineering at 573
here, and then you
893
go
1955.
Underneath.
Does she want to write a post?
So the music I was hearing.
Was her.
That was me singing.
That was you singing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was like the CD running. That's sounded.
You ready, Ken?
And then does that mean we're now that I hit share? Does it mean?
Yes.
it does.
We're actually
I love
live,
this.
Ken.
We're going to talk about that.
Hello.
Okay, so on the count of three, Ken, start the Saturday Night Super Show.
Hi, everybody. It's the Saturday Night Super Show, and I'm your host, Ken Slavin. I'm so happy to be here
Hold on,
today
wait,
with.
Ken, actually your guest today. I know you like to run the show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But,
But there's only room for one host.
I know you.
And it's
said
you.
that.
It's you.
Yeah, and
Ro-
we can let it be me. So we can switch
Yes.
spaces.
Here you go.
Real quick, thank you, Ken. That you know, Ken's personality. Let me get your mic right there.
Is a little
Ken's
too big,
personality
right?
can fill the room, and another great personality that fills the room is my good friend Patricia Vonne.
Orale.
I am so excited that you guys are here today. This is gonna be our musical show today, and for those of you tuning in on Facebook Live, you may have seen Patricia just performing and doing a wonderful job, but you weren't able to hear her because for some reason we have Dave Ramsey playing. But so that's a mashup. Is that what they call, no, the kids call
That's
it.
the kids call
I
it.
actually think
mashup.
that that's a wonderful kind of blend of disciplines all at once.
You know, that's a good way to put it. A wonderful blend of disciplines.
music, money,
So yes, all that. Hey,
talent.
all the things that make the world go round.
That's
So
right.
so like I said, so in studio today we have my good friend, jazz crooner. I love the way that sounds. Ken Slavin.
Thank you,
and
thank
he's
you.
Can we talk about his upcoming show at Sam's Burger Joint, his Christmas holiday show, or however we can say it
Ken
nowadays.
Slavin's Swingin' Holiday Show.
That's
it.
the title.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay. I feel like
Not very original. but
I'm in
that's
I'm in a party mood already just hearing the name. So, and then Patricia also the same week is going to be performing here in San Antonio. She also travels around the world performing, and so we'll be talking about that as well and some of her new music and all that stuff. And I want you to show me a little bit how to do the castanellas, maybe. Just
bet.
'cause I
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean-
there's a real trick to that. And so
Oh, right now?
you that would be
Oh, I love that.
she so awesome with that. So I won't look as graceful, but we'll try it here in a little bit. So, and now Patricia is not only an awesome artist, musician, entertainer. She's also an actress, and she's got a brother who's done a little bit of stuff. He dabbles in film, Robert Rodriguez, and so
I have not
yeah, so
heard of
does,
him.
yeah, he's doing all right, you know. So
Wonderful guy. I had a chance to meet him once. He's
and
great.
yeah, he's an awesome guy. And then and now Patricia, you have other members of your family too that are also involved in creative type things like
yes.
that.
I mean, well, there are
like
10
your
of
whole
us.
family.
There are
That's-
10 children. And my brother Marcel, he is a documentary filmmaker, writer, editor. He plays beautiful piano. My sister Rebecca is also a director, writer, editor, musician. I mean, to
It's
start
just-
there, you
that's
know, we come
amazing.
from a family of filmmakers and writers and
Yeah.
musicians. Thanks to my mom and dad who shared their love of music. And my mom would take us to the Almost theaters. Remember the Almost, to watch double features of Hitchcock and, you know, The Red Shoes and then Turning Point with Baryshnikov. And I mean, that was our life growing up.
That
And the
is-
mariachis coming
That's
to
a
our
great
house.
childhood, you know, and to grow up, to be able to share something like that, like with me, with my kids, I share jokes in comedy, and
Humor
so
is
now they're
very
just a bunch of
important.
sarcastic kids. no,
Humor's
they're great.
important.
They're funny. You know, it's funny because I've got 5 kids, and didn't quite make it to the 10, but got 5 kids, and my daughter is the youngest out of everybody. She just turned 18, but my friend Jade Esteban Estrada, who's a comedian, actor here in town.
He's great.
And my daughter took some acting classes with him, and he's funny because he says, your daughter's going to be the Janet Jackson of you guys. Like, she's going to be the breakout, whatever. He goes, you're going to be a footnote in her autobiography. It'd be like, oh yeah, and her dad also did some comedy. Like, that was just going to be the
I
one
love
little thing, you know. Yeah, her dad did. a little
That's
bit of
totally a
comedy.
Jade.
It is,
approach
right?
to
Isn't
things,
it?
too,
Isn't
yes.
it? Oh my God, he's so funny. And then Ken, I had the opportunity to see you perform the other night at the Rapping with Jack event out at Fiesta, Texas.
Yes, I saw you there with your family.
Yeah,
Wasn't
and
that last night?
yeah, huh?
Was that last night?
That was
It was Tuesday night.
Whoa,
Tuesday.
I'm time traveling.
Tuesday, yeah, Tuesday. I'm getting confused on
Yeah,
my
it
days.
was
here.
earlier this week.
I thought it was
Yeah,
last night.
so what, you drove out there as
I
an
got
empty
it-
parking
I got
lot or
way
what?
out the Tito's vodka.
Yeah, it's the holidays. I'm struggling with my memories from last night. But that's, y'all see my Facebook, you'll see what that's all about. You know, I went to this event, not to get off track here, because it's the holidays, right? A lot of parties, a lot of stuff going on, and I went to this party last night that I meant to just pop in real quick and say hi. Next thing you know, I mean, we're there till all hours of the night, and wound up doing karaoke and just getting. People follow me on Facebook. You see, I'm in a Chihuahua mask. Like, all that happened there. Like, it was like there was a picture of me walking in, dressed up, looking nice. It was kind of like that was my before photo, and then the Chihuahua thing. It felt like my after photo once the party kicked in. You know,
Yes.
so it got
We've all been there.
it got a little crazy, and then I had to get up early and do television and be like Pep.
See, it's payback time.
It's feeling like it. Yeah, that's right. Time
Well,
to-
you know, but it puts you in touch with a lot of things, don't you think? Because
with
of
your
the pain.
doctor. With your
The
doctor.
pain,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now for you guys, what's interesting is that who's dinging? Is that you? Ken?
Uh-oh.
Ken's getting a phone call. That's
Ringer's
awesome.
off.
And so
I have no idea why this is happening.
now you guys as both kind of when you have to sing, right? So like if you have a late night out, and let's say you got to sing or perform the next
Mhm.
day, I mean that's a totally different deal than let's say someone who's got to get up and I don't know.
Well, see, I do that. I hold down a full-time position, and so when I do gig at night, I have to take that into account. Luckily for me, I work for a boss who's very flexible about that because in a salaried position like mine at the San Antonio AIDS Foundation,
Yeah.
I'm on all the time, 7 days a week. So I'm allowed to have these,
Yeah.
to do these gigs, and I've been doing that, for so many years here in town. But it's still there is some recovery mode if you're performing till midnight,
right.
and needing to get up at 6 a.m. But you have to straddle the world, the two worlds of show business and work. Normal work.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. And not to I'm not trying to put down, let's say, someone who's a bass player or a guitar player or a drummer or whatever, but when you're having to sing, I mean, that's a muscle that you
Mhm.
really have to have that thing going, right? I mean,
Yep.
so like,
You're
what
also
do you do
giving your
with that?
whole, I think your whole spirit, it comes from here.
Yeah.
That's where all the emotions come from.
Absolutely.
you're
and
really
it can be very
giving-
exhausting. I mean, it's
Yeah.
beautiful, but I'm kind of tired after it. I'm real energized for the first couple of hours after a gig, and then it's like, because if you've given your all, that's exactly how you're going to feel.
Really, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's
You're that
interesting.
way
It's
as
a
a
good feeling.
comic.
Well, I guess you're right. There's times that after I come off, let's say just 45 minutes to an hour of just kind of boom, 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 boom giving, and I guess I kind of do the same way. I wouldn't compare it to
And then,
having to sing, but yeah.
no, any kind of performance, any kind of work you do, period. If you're putting heart and soul into it, as well as craft and
True.
art and
True.
technique,
Mm-hmm.
it's work. And you're
Yeah.
going to be tired, but it's also joyful. I mean, I can't imagine not performing. Can you?
Yeah,
No.
it's in my blood.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know, and I was the other day I was watching a clip of Aerosmith, performing, and I'm watching Steven Tyler, and he is out there just giving it, and I'm like, I'm exhausted just watching him, and I don't know, what is he like? He's in his 60s now or something,
Possibly
easily.
older, I would think.
But he's out there, like shirt all open and everything. I'm here trying to stay covered up. Steven Tyler's out there in his 60s, just nipples out, just everything. and I think he had piercings in his nipples. I'm like, bro, but still had great hair and just so
Yes,
much energy.
That's an issue with me, the hair.
Yeah.
It's just, it's very unfair. Totally, absolutely unfair.
Look,
But I digress.
But I feel you. I came across okay, on Facebook now you can do that where it pops up memories.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I had a memory bus that popped up of after the one of the movie premieres, and you and I were there with the movie poster. And so anyway, but now I have it where those memories pop up, and so one popped up from like 3 years ago, and the difference in my hair from just 3 years ago, it's just depressing.
Same
I
with
was like,
mine.
what in the world?
No, I get it. I've been looking. Stuff's been popping up from. This is 5 years since my New York debut, and somehow 30 pounds came, less hair came, and some very strange creases and crinkles around the eyes
Right.
that weren't there.
we like to call
But
it laugh lines.
it's all part of living.
It's character. It's bringing character to your
That
face.
isn't really what I had in mind.
Hey, it's not making you feel better.
No, actually, you should be happy for every year you have, every minute you have. And I also
agree.
don't think much of stretching your face to the point of it not looking real either.
I know. You know what? Now I see like young,
Thank you,
primarily
son.
young girls who feel like they want to get that, like plastic surgeon stuff, where it's like so young. It's like, why?
Well, I've
Part
heard
of your life, right? It's part of your living.
Well, I've
like
heard-
you,
I've
you're
heard talk
natural,
that that's what
a
people do
natural
now.
beauty, Patricia. You've got a lot of
Gracias, amigo.
grace in
you-
your
you-
in
and
your
you have
movement.
and you have great bone structure. You really
yeah.
do.
Thanks to my mom and
I'm a-
daddy.
Let's talk about Patricia's bone structure for a little bit. But no, but I don't understand why why young people feel the need like to start doing stuff, because once you go down that road,
It's true, but I've read some articles saying that if you're going to do it, starting younger is better than having it
What?
done when you're older because of the elasticity of your skin.
are you serious?
People like you and I,
Yeah. What is the message we're sending here?
I
Turn off your
know
radio.
it's bizarre, but
Play
that's
some rock and roll.
what
What?
play rock and roll, and no one will care what your face looks like.
Wow. Well, that's interesting.
It's
Yeah.
it's bizarre. I think it's just a reflection of a lot of self-absorption in our culture,
Yeah, the
and
times
we just
we live
need
in,
we just need
right?
to embrace living. That's
A lot
what
of
we need to do.
narcissism nowadays,
And that's just Roman.
and I was about to say, and that's just Mike. That's what great minds think alike. Sorry.
Steve Tyler is 70.
Steven Tyler is 70.
70.
See?
Yeah, and he's still out
Yeah.
there
I'm
jumping
saying.
around. And you know what? What's kept him slim and healthy is all the performing.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Isn't Mick Jagger about that age too, or maybe older?
Yes.
That's another one
yeah,
too. The Rolling
yeah.
Stones.
And he looks good.
Can you imagine, like,
He looks good.
Physically or face?
Whoa.
Well,
okay. So,
of course. And
Okay.
then there's Keith Richards, but I digress.
oh, God, yeah. But almost like with people like that, with performance like that, like Tricia, like you said, it's in your blood, and like this is something you're gonna do forever, right? Like to me, I almost see like just keep doing comedy just because I love it, right?
Right.
And so, But yeah, I can't imagine like let's say the Rolling Stones like just retiring, right? Because you're used to them just always being there,
Right.
still always doing it.
I've always felt that they're going to be the type that kind of take that last bow and topple over.
Right.
I would like
it's gonna
that.
happen on stage.
I can't think of a
Yeah,
better
I mean,
way
like-
to go than doing what you love and just taking that one last note
Yeah.
and collapsing and everybody thinking it was part of the act.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
and
at
then after
90.
clapping for 10 minutes.
Right.
Like at 90.
After a while, they go.
I love it. I
Yeah.
think people who perform as long as they can, that's what keeps them going as long as they can.
That's right.
It really does.
Yeah. That's
In most industries.
well, it depends. So like for me, you know, I had a heart attack back in August.
Hi
heart
again.
attack.
The heart attack. Okay.
Feel free to send gift cards to Roman Garcia. No,
I
so I
didn't
had this-
realize you had a heart
GoFundMe.
attack. in
You didn't know
August.
that?
No.
You had a
Yeah.
heart attack?
I made
sent out a
I
message
got a
to
whole
everyone.
20-minute comedy set about it. You know, that was the plus size. The
Uh-oh.
plus size. Hey, speaking of heart
Hello.
attacks, the plus side of having a heart attack was I got a lot of material. So, but the thing is, so I had this heart attack on my wife's birthday. Yes, and it was almost like I hadn't got her a gift, so the timing was that big. So, but it was funny. Is they're still like, you guys are horrible. So,
It's funny.
so I kind of did a little bit of recovery, but I had a show that I was supposed to do, like, it was like maybe a week after that. And so I was still down to do the show. I was like, the doctor said, hey, you know what? You can get around, do a few things. Don't do nothing crazy till you have this follow-up, whatever. But yeah, get around. I said, okay. So I figured I could do the show. I wasn't the headliner, so I probably would be up there, 20 minutes. So I felt great. And then on the way to the show, I kind of started feeling like really drained and really tired. And I was like, and then as we're getting, my wife could see it, because she was driving. I was just kind of leaning over. She's like, just don't do it. Just tell me you can't. And I said, no, we're already on the way, blah, blah, blah. And it was already like capacity crowd, like and I was like, no, let's do it. And it was funny because I thought about that. I go, wow, what if I die
Awesome.
on stage? Right. That was part of me said,
That's funny.
awesome. If I'm going to go,
Yeah.
that'd be kind of
And
not a
that
bad
would
way to go.
finally land you on the front page.
finally
Yeah.
go viral.
Finally.
Yeah.
Right. Now
At last,
people
a
are buying my
headline.
DVD.
At last.
He
Yeah.
died
You're
doing
in
what he
heaven.
loves the most, right?
It's like, it's like, are you do you like Nick Drake at all?
I do. Yeah.
And like Fruit Tree. So Fruit Tree, you familiar with Nick Drake? Yeah. So he was a kind of a singer songwriter, died real young, and but he has a song called Fruit Tree,
Oh.
and it has a line like where it says famous like a fruit tree, and he talks about it doesn't flourish till it's in the ground. Like
Yes.
till you're dead, then you become famous for things. So that'd have been Roman Garcia.
But
died.
luckily it wasn't, and thankfully
Yes.
you're here with us.
But the point, being was that in my mind, I kind of resolved myself to say, you know what? If something did happen, you know what? Man, I've had a great life. I'm doing what I enjoy doing.
Exactly.
I would die doing what I enjoy.
Exactly. I
So,
agree with you.
and I don't know how the audience would feel. Like, hey, we're supposed to be at a comedy show. This guy died right in front of us. Yeah, everybody leaving off, feeling weird. Like, that was the worst comedy show ever. That guy just died on us. What is that all
St.
about?
Peter's like, hey, you went viral.
Hey, right. Roman, your YouTube's up to 1 million views. Like,
It's like embrace the present, live for today, be grateful for what you have, and don't miss what you don't have.
no, that's exactly right. I saw something the other day that said, if you're stressed or worried, it's because you're either thinking about the future or the past, and you're not being in the present, right? So, which again, if a lion's in front of you trying to eat you, okay, I'll be a little stressed, But you get the
I was gonna
idea.
say, someone that
You get the
says
idea.
something like that has not had bad Chinese food. They can't use the restroom. Because I'm
Right.
thinking about today, right now.
Mhm. No, but it's true. We got to, especially right now too, during the holiday season. Like this is the time where people have this heightened awareness about those who don't have.
Yes.
Let's say, those who didn't have a turkey for Thanksgiving, or those who don't have, Christmas gifts. You kind of got this, and you think that we've got to count our blessings for everything we have. And so. Anyway, so it's like with you guys. Again, we got these shows coming up. So, Ken, tell us a little bit about the Ken Slavin Swinger
holiday
Swinger,
show.
swinging.
Swinging.
I'm messing with
Swinging.
Swing
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No
so
G.
tell us a little bit about what to expect. You have a number of different musicians that kind of perform with you
Yes.
different times,
Yes.
different places, and all that stuff. So
And right now, there's a nucleus going on right now of a great jazz quartet I work with, and we are doing a lot of things together, the five of us, and so it's become a very tight sound. It's Barry Brake on keyboard, Chuck Moses on bass, Darren Cooper on drums, and then I have Joe Caplow on vibraphone. So it's these big vibes that he plays with the
Oh, wow.
mallets. And it's got this wonderful, classic, swinging jazz sound. we are very much now performing. We're not copying anyone, but if you heard the combination, it would remind you probably of something you heard in the early 60s, late 50s, early 60s, in the jazz genre, because it's straight ahead. But we also do boleros and bossa novas, and I sing in Spanish as well.
Look at you.
And so it's a wonderful show.
You and
When
Patricia should collab.
we should. After I heard her voice, though, I was thinking I cannot be up against that because it's such an incredible voice. But I do 3 shows a year at Sam's, but this one in particular is meant to be all about holiday joy and all about the fun of the season. So we mix jazz versions of holiday songs with the jazz classics we do and with the boleros that I sing. And so it's a wonderful freewheeling kind of show. It's not very structured. And with jazz players, you can just call a tune and a key, and we just do it. But some things are arranged. Some things are arranged, but lots of trading off of solos and things, interaction with the audience.
Fun.
And it's just a fun night, and I like to tell people it's basically burgers, booze, and classic jazz. They have a full bar at
Again,
Sam's,
interesting mix.
at Sam's Music Hall, and they have incredible hamburgers.
Yeah, their burgers are
And that's part
Speaking
of
of
our
hard times.
pay. That's part of our pay when we work there. is we get,
Oh, yeah,
we get burgers and we get
dinner,
booze. Yeah. So it's a wonderful place. And I have to tell people, if they've only been into the Sam's Burger Joint restaurant,
Right.
which is the little tiny house next to it, they need to realize that this is a big room
Yeah,
where we
in the
play.
back.
And there's a big stage. There's great lighting. There's wonderful sound engineers who work there. I mean, the best locally that we have.
Oh, yeah.
And so the sound is great. The lighting is great. The staging is great. Don't you agree?
Yes, and there's room to
it's
dance.
It's just wonderful.
You don't realize from the outside how big it is. Like, you walk in there, you're kind of transported to a different place because it's a cool look, cool vibe.
It's almost like a warehouse kind of club because of the big exposed ceilings and everything. Now, the dance floor, in the case of my show, I bring in cabaret seating because I'm also trying to. It's more of a listening crowd that comes. However, there's plenty of space for dancing, and people do dance.
That's
so
right.
It's a great night, and this is our 4th year, I think, in a row that we've done the Christmas show. And then the other times I'm there is when I do my birthday bash. Ken Slavin swinging birthday bash in
I
August.
like how everything is Ken Slavin swinging something. Like,
Everything says Ken Slavin.
Ken Slavin
Gotta do that
swinging
branding.
Kwanzaa, right? It's very,
Hey!
But I give great kudos to the people at Sam's, especially Eric Christensen, who does all the bookings. I called him up out of the blue. He didn't know me. I just was looking for new places to perform, 4 or 5 years ago, and I called him and said, "I'm Ken Slavin, and I do jazz," and because they're used to the big traveling blues
Talk about an
acts and rock. And,
oversimplification of your career. I'm Ken Slavin. I do jazz.
but he, thank you. But he said, we like to try new things. Let's give it a roll. And I sent him a link to my site and stuff. But he didn't know me at all, and he didn't know if I could draw a crowd. But he gave me a chance on a weeknight. So that's why we're always doing them on weeknights now.
Yeah.
It worked. We do an early show. It worked really well the first time, so he said, "Hey, let's look at dates."
Sure.
And now it's like, "Okay, we're planning the year. Let's look at your
nice.
3 dates now and get them on the calendar." So,
great.
and I'm really the only act of my sort that's there.
Yeah.
And then you've got so many other great acts, and you sit in that little tiny dressing room with the hole in the door where someone punched it. It's been there for years.
That was me.
But they have posters of every imaginable kind of actors. Leon Redbone, all these people have come through, and I just feel really excited every time to be a part of that history of what's going on at the club. And to me, it's Puerto San Antonio to have that kind of blend of people there. So
the first time I went in there, I was pleasantly surprised.
We were there the other day with Eric Schwartz.
Yeah, recently we had a comedy show at
Roman
there with
opened
Eric
for him,
Schwartz.
and I roasted him when I introed Roman.
We had
But
Mike go
we got thrown out of the green room because Angelita was, I don't know what was going on, but they're
She
like,
was
y'all have to go.
starting to fight.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
She threw a beer bottle.
We're kind of quiet in that regard when we're back there, but we always have a little toast before the show. The drummer brings some kind of really famous, very aged scotch, and
Nice.
we do a little toast to the show, and then we just go out and do our show, and we don't really hang out in that room much after. And we always come out during intermission and meet with people and take pictures and all that stuff, and of course sell CDs. And
Yeah. So the
have a
date
great time.
again,
It's Wednesday, December 19th.
Wednesday,
The
December
doors
19th.
open at 7. The show is 8 to 10 p.m. It'll be 2 acts with 1 short intermission.
Okay.
And the tickets are online at samsburgerjoint.com. The advance tickets are $15, and if you buy at the door, they're $20.
Okay.
And I have already heard from the management that we've sold out all the booths, which is great.
Nice.
And,
Awesome. That's great.
we're starting to do really well on the tickets. But I think after people know I was on your show,
Oh man.
we're going to sell
Watch
more.
out.
I really
Watch
do.
out.
I really
Watch
do.
out. Gonna have
I'm
to
very
take it to the street.
I'm very appreciative that you invited me on.
No,
I really appreciate it.
I am no, like I said, I am glad that I could have you guys on because y'all are both going to be like I said, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And get everybody in the vibe and get for people who don't realize the kind of awesome musical acts that come through that place. Like you said, people just think of, oh, there's the restaurant side. They don't necessarily realize there's the music hall in the back.
And now that's not to denigrate restaurants because my whole career I've sung
Oh no,
in little burger places
I've
and
done
on
comedy at many-
patios, you know.
I've done comedy at many a Mexican restaurant. So.
In my bio material, when I've been interviewed in New York, I've played in New York several times over the last few years, and they ask, well, you know, what's the scene like in San Antonio? And I say, look, I started out singing at Dick's Last Resort and Chris Madrid's. Those were the first places I
How
ever played.
funny.
And people like, well, what is that? The New Yorkers have
Right.
no idea. And I say, I basically run the gamut from burger joints to black tie galas and everything in between.
That is awesome.
And I think every working musician or singer in this city does.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Really, we will go anywhere that we can have the joy of singing for
No.
other people.
I mean, and that's again because you love what you do.
Yes.
So it's like you just have an opportunity to get in front of people and perform. That's
Yep.
what you want to do. And so we want to let people hear a little bit of some of your Christmas.
Yes,
music.
I've got some old stuff online that I do and that's propped up or posted there for people to hear.
Okay.
Just give them a little flavor of it.
So if we don't have it,
He said he could sing a cappella if you need.
I would. I said I would if you wanted me.
No,
to.
no, we have it. Good.
okay. I'm trying to see the hand
Save.
signals.
We can wait.
Save.
If are we just
You know, Feliz Navidad.
I like
We've been playing a little bit throughout the interview.
the what?
He doesn't realize you don't have ears in.
Oh, okay, I'm listening to him now. You want to hit play? That's so funny. I love how we got poor Kareem here who's filling in today for Chris, and he's not used to our off the seat of our
Hand
pants.
signals.
Oh, I
yeah.
just realized I
Our
don't have
hand
As long as he's
headphones.
not shooting me the bird, I'm happy. Okay, so let's hear a little
So
bit
something's playing.
from Ken Slavin, or not. Mike, why don't you go see what Kareem's trying to tell you? So, all right. Well, you know what? You did say something about singing a cappella. That would be
Sure.
great. Can we sing along with you when you?
No.
Of course you can.
We don't want to ruin it. I know.
Let me go find out.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so, or you know what? I don't know. Patricia, do you know any Christmas songs?
What
You don't?
They only do original.
Okay. I was like, that would be nice.
do you know Sabor a mí? Could we do that together?
Yes.
Oh wow. I love
I do-
this.
I
Okay,
do it in
let's
F.
walk out, Angelita.
This is so
F
good.
is my key. What's your key?
Well, I mean, let's do it. Tanto tiempo disfrutamos. I'll sing with you. I don't know it on guitar, but let's do it a cappella.
I love this. Okay, everyone.
Can you just give us like
this
a
is
strum for
a
the chord?
special treat.
No, that must not be my key. Tanto. I'm not used to singing with guitar.
I love this. I love this process.
I'm sure I do it in F, in the key of F, but what's the starting chord on it?
Communications test channel.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos.
Oh, everybody. Ken Slavin and Patricia Vonne. First collaboration. I like to feel a part of history in the making.
Hit record, everybody.
This is so great. This will be bootlegged and available on iTunes a little later this afternoon by following the link on the Saturday Night Super Show page. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor.
You can sing the first verse.
It's going to be so
Okay.
good.
Ready? Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor. Nuestras almas se acercaron tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí.
Si negaras mi presencia en tu vivir, bastaría con abrazarte y conversar. Tanta vida yo te di, que por fuerza tienes ya sabor a mí.
No pretendo ser tu dueño, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad.
De mi vida doy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar.
Pasarán más de 1000 años, muchos más, yo no sé si tenga amor.
La eternidad,
Pero allá tal como aquí, en la boca llevarás sabor a mí.
Y'all made me cry. Y'all made me cry. Y'all win the prize.
There was some great chemistry happening there. you guys.
She's got such
And
a
that was just me
beautiful
I love
alone.
voice.
it. Oh my! Both of you guys are great, but yeah, Patricia, you.
I mean,
Yeah,
incredible,
she's-
I smell
incredible.
a duets album coming out.
Yeah, I mean, golly, that's great. Y'all should do a
I'm
Christmas
sorry.
album together. All right. Hey, speaking of great duets, getting married is one of the greatest duets you can ever enter into in your lifetime. And so let's have a quick word from our sponsor, Bridal Connection.
Bridal Connection at Stone Oak will help you find your perfect dress for your perfect day. Consistently voted bridal favorite by San Antonio Weddings magazine, Bridal Connection offers amazing high-end designs without high-end pricing. Located on the 1604 Access Road between Highway 281 and Stone Oak, or online at bridalconnectionsa.com. Call 210-967-4696 to set your appointment today. Bridal Connection at Stone Oak, your perfect dress for your perfect day. 967-4696. Bridal Connection at Stone Oak will help.
The Learfield Communications Test Channel.
And we're back.
Please call Learfield
Hey,
Engineering
Roman, we
was-
should do a duet.
That was, you know what? We do, you and I, it's a comedy duet every week. So,
Well, I was going to say, police stole my car.
Mike, man, I was enjoying so much, you know, what's happening here with Ken and
I was trying to
Patricia, and
collaborate.
you're totally bringing it down. So, oh my gosh. So anyway, so that was beautiful. But Patricia said she would show me real quick how to operate these castanettas.
Wow.
What?
No,
I
I
agree.
want to hear that great
I'm not.
song you were
I'm not
doing.
opposed to that, but we want to hear you sing. So now, Patricia, am I doing that right? This thing? Not at all. So, yeah, she's showing me how to apply. Okay, thumb. Oh,
Oh, see, and I never knew
Down.
that. I thought you had to do this thing like this.
look at me! I'm a sexy Latina.
Latina
Hey,
being
that's
proper.
pretty good.
Show me.
Thanks. You learn something new every day. So just thumb.
And everyone on the
We're
radio is
showing
going
Ken.
thumb.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
For everybody who wants to know how to play.
Check out
castaneta.
Facebook
and then
Live.
and you hang your hand like that. Oh no! How did you?
There you go.
What did I do
No,
wrong?
I think you did it.
His thumb is too
There
big.
we go. There we go.
Thumb is-
I'm all cutting off
I have
the
an enormous thumb.
cutting off the circulation of
Ken
Ken's
has
thumb.
a man-sized thumb, Roman.
Communications Test Channel.
There you
If
go.
you have any questions or
Yeah, and then just hit it.
please call Learfield
Man,
Engineering
Ken.
Ay,
See?
que laureles tan verdes, quiero salsa encendida.
We've just added a whole new dimension to
And
Ken's
demographic.
to
This is
Ken's
not at
show.
all- This is not what anyone
To
was
Ken's
expecting.
show, right?
I
Yeah.
think I'm going to get some of these and start.
Isn't that great? See? No, I like. Oh, see? And your jacket is so sharp, Ken. Between that and the movement you got
What?
down,
Is that
that's
paisley?
that's
What is
That's
that?
sharp.
Yeah, there's paisley in it. It's really an you know
It's
a
a sharp
jacket to
jacket.
wear at night. It's
no.
it's
This
not to
Ken's
wear
got
in
a great
broad
jacket. So tell you had said you went into a meeting and you felt you were overdressed because
yes,
your fancy jacket.
Well, I took the jacket off. I had a business workshop that I had forgotten I had to go to, so I didn't have appropriate clothes. You don't wear shiny cufflinks like this and a dinner jacket to a
Right.
workshop
But
about fundraising.
He had done Great Day SA earlier.
Yes, I dressed for
So he was
that.
looking good.
And then, but it's funny because he says he took off his jacket and he's got like these big, awesome jewel
And I
cufflinks
didn't
underneath.
remember that
which
till
are
I'm talking with people,
flashier.
and I thought, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They're looking at this and I'm
You're
possibly
looking at you
not
like
taking
Joe
me very
Pesci
serious.
with that little ring.
Right. So he wanted to be in flashier after removing the jacket.
And
So
this is actually kind of flashy for me, but I was trying to do a little something different for the Christmas show.
it's a good look. It's good.
And I have another incredible jacket coming for the Christmas show that's
I
been
think
done
that's
by a
too
local
flashy
person.
for like a jazz.
No, I think
I think that's perfect.
Yeah, it's an evening jacket.
I'd wear that just to go to lunch, just to be flashy. Now, so Patricia, now you have been traveling, and you were, you were so awesome. See, yes, please. That's because I want these guys to try them because these are straight
What are they called?
up from Holland.
Syrup Wolfen from Netherlands.
Yeah.
Wow, did you just do
See?
a tour in Holland?
Mostly in Germany, but the opening night was in Eindhoven, Holland. Ik het vrienden in Nederland. Lekker ding.
I'm very impressed.
Isn't that great?
Veel
And so
plezier.
she's so sweet. So she brought these in knowing.
Check it out.
One, there's a
Wow.
sweet
Caramel
tooth.
in the
They
Here,
look
middle.
like
here,
little
you keep one for
pancakes.
yourself.
Okay.
We're all gonna share.
Oh,
And
delicious. Thank
yeah,
you.
so
Bro was like, you keep one because
Wow.
I'm
right,
eating
right, and yeah, so we'll eat these as we're
On my new album, I have a song called Lekker Ding, which is a Dutch title. It means sweet thing. Here we go.
See, there we go.
Oh, these are so good.
All right, cheers with the cookie. So how long were you over in Germany or?
I was on tour for the month of October promoting my 7th album, Top of the Mountain, and we had about 22 shows.
Wow.
Wonderful.
And the people over there are just so respectful and love Texas music, and we got to share, which is really interesting though. When I perform, especially like in Germany, I tell them that they were the influence for the Tejano and Conjunto music.
True.
I was on the border of Poland, and I heard what I was like, is that Flaco Jimenez? No, it's a Polish, polka.
Yeah, polka.
And
Yeah.
it was so amazing to bring that to them. They have no idea that we have German towns in Texas, and the
Really?
immigrants came here. And I said, I'm just bringing the music back with castanets,
That's awesome.
so that they have a part of why I'm there. They have a part of the
Well, it
music.
totally makes sense. I'm very impressed with that.
You
And that
know?
do you book your own tours?
No, I have a booker in Germany, and she's able to make a tour work. It's very difficult for indie artists to tour America.
Sure.
I mean, the same amount of time it takes to drive from here to Lubbock, you can go through 4 countries in Europe.
Really?
Yes, so that's the difference.
Wow.
You can cover a lot of land over there, and a lot of people.
You can walk your tour.
Right. That's a walking tour. Yeah. So now, how often do you do stuff like going overseas?
I maybe once or twice a year.
I kind of see when you're doing that.
Yeah.
It's always so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to go share what you're doing. So you have a pretty good fan base overseas.
They're very loyal, very loyal.
I like
and I'm
your-
grateful for that. You never know when that's, going to stop,
Yeah. And so the new CD.
Yeah, Top of the
Take a
Mountain.
look at this.
Produced by Rick Del Castillo, whom I'm going to be sharing the stage with December 22nd at Sam's Burger Joint. It's a double bill with Del Castillo.
He's great. Yeah.
And we go on at 9. My band goes on at 9, Patricia Vonne Band, followed by Del Castillo. And we're going to be, blow the roof off the joint. It's going to be fun. He co-produced it with Michael Ramos. And I have 4 co-writes on this with Joaquin Carrasco. We wrote Little Lobo.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
it's a rocker tune. Alejandro Escovedo, we co-wrote Tidal Wave.
Del Castillo did his theme song for his TV show, right?
Yeah, back in the day, yeah, I think he had done that, and so yeah, he's a great musician, and so kind of like we mentioned, like with Ken, like sometimes he's got some kind of revolving. I mean, he has musicians he works with regular on off, and it's not the same group all the time. Like, do you have the same band that stays with you, or do you have
Pretty
people that-
much. I mean, over there in Europe, I have musicians there. Pretty much here, we're going to have a new guitar player, Gabe Rhodes. We'll have Scott Garber, who's on my album. Hector Munoz, who plays with Alejandro Escovedo. He's been playing with me for a few years. That's why I named it Patricia Vonne. Because bands break up all the time for many reasons. Family,
Right.
other,
Different
I do,
reason.
I do the same
Reasons.
thing.
Looking at you, Van Halen.
I had a band
So-
name when we started out. We were the Skyliners, and then it was Ken Slavin and the Skyliners. But it's the same thing. It was working. When you work with working musicians in a town like San Antonio, especially, they have to take lots of other gigs, and they work in different combinations.
Exactly.
And many of the jazz musicians I work with are so fluid and able to do so many different styles that they may be working with a country band before they come on for my show, or they may be doing fashion shows, or they may be doing, gala dances and things like that. So they're in different combos. You're very lucky if you can have a cohesive unit,
Yeah.
but it can be difficult. Like you said, if there are reasons people have to leave, and it's not quite the same thing. So that isn't how we bill it anymore. But
Yeah.
I have my faves that I like to work with as much as I possibly can. And if I had all the money in the world, I would take them on a tour and not have to hire out in different cities.
Roman.
David Perales, he's been my
Available.
violin player since the first. Or Texas. He was the first live show I saw on San Pedro, I believe the place was called Pink Flamingo, and my brother Robert was learning how to play the saxophone, and I never forget he was playing this vinyl album, this guy in 1950s garb with a saxophone like this.
Looking all
It was
cool.
called Full Blown, and I was like, wow, who's that? He goes, I'm going to go see him tonight with Dad. I go, can I go? And he said, you have to ask permission, you have to ask Dad. You never know if it's a father-son
Sure.
bonding
When with little
situation.
sister
I knew.
hanging out, yeah.
Exactly. Big bro, let me go.
Right.
It changed my life. It's the reason I'm on stage. I've written songs
Really?
with Johnny Reno. Johnny Reno plays on my 7th album on a song for Elvis called Graceland Trip. And he, I mean, how isn't it interesting how it all
how things come full
360.
circle.
Thank you,
or
Robert Rodriguez.
How you, imagine if he'd have said no,
Yeah.
I know.
right?
The mariachis, my mom and dad would always invite them to our house for their anniversary party, birthday party, and that was like in your living room.
Right.
Live situation where that was my first connection to my heritage.
Yeah.
Listening to that music and really wanting, like, us singing Salorani. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just so exciting
That's
to
awesome.
be able to preserve my heritage through music, which is why all of my albums are bilingual, and this is my 7th go-round.
That is so great. And my dad used to play flamenco guitar, and I would listen to him, and I'm like, I really want to play. And then I was a young kid, so I started listening to rock and roll, and I'm like, you know what, I want to play guitar. So I go to my dad, and I say, Dad, I want to learn to play. He says, all right. So we sit down. He shows me one chord. He says, practice that for a week, and then I'll teach you another chord. And I was like, but I got frustrated. I was so impatient because.
You have to.
But the thing I didn't understand is you gotta practice right. You gotta learn right.
And you have to practice every day, and you have
Yeah.
to apply yourself.
Yes, and I was wanting, I wanted to be Eddie Van Halen tomorrow, and so I took one lesson from my dad, and then the rest it was just me winging it on my own, So, but it's funny how, anything like that, it's just, you have that spark, but then now learning. Learn the instrument, learning to sing, learning how your voice works. It's a real discipline.
It happens that way. I mean, my mom put us in the community guitar lessons at age 16. I didn't touch it again until I was like 22.
Really?
When I moved to New York, and I missed it. And then I brought the guitar back up and started learning just 3-chord songs. They just said,
Sure.
just if you can get from the first to the end of the song, just play a whole song. Hank Williams tunes, I Saw the Light. Just get through the whole song, and then I started writing my own songs on a typewriter. Very simple tunes.
That's awesome.
Just don't put the pressure on yourself.
Sure.
Just that's how a good
Yeah.
way to start.
I love it. That's awesome.
As an Elvis fan, I would
Obviously.
really love to hear this Graceland Trip song.
Oh my
So why don't we take that word from Tito's while she gets ready?
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, holidays are here. It's fun time, so be sure you get your Tito's vodka. Quick word from them.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito set out to build a microdistillery, incorporating elements of artisan craftsmanship from boutique wineries into the spirits industry. Pot distilled, made from corn, Tito's is naturally gluten-free, crafted in Austin, Texas, to be savored by spirit connoisseurs and everyday drinkers alike. For Tito's recipes, infusion ideas, Tito's swag, or to learn more about our story, visit Tito'sVodka.com. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, crafted to be savored responsibly. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In
So we
1995,
are
Tito
talking
set out to
about,
build a microdistillery.
Patricia
Tito's Handmade Vodka
and
is
again,
America's.
some of these amazing artists that she has on this CD. So, guys, be sure to pick up her new CD, Top of the Mountain, and you can get that on patriciavonne.com, VONNE. Don't spell it wrong. Don't spell it Vaughn. Right?
It's like Yvonne without the Y.
Yeah, there you go. Yvonne without the Y. But Patricia's going to grace us.
Hello.
Wow.
With a song.
Okay. This is a
Great,
request
yes.
because I was going to play a song in Spanish, but they want the Elvis song.
Yes, you've got
And,
to do it.
We'll
You've
make
got
another
to.
one on Facebook
The
Live.
video, you got Graceland Trip, Patricia Vonne, YouTube Vimeo, because you'll hear Johnny Reno's saxophone wailing away, and Scott Plunkett from Chris Isaac's band on Smoke and Keys. And this is just me and the guitar, but I'll do my very best for Elvis Presley. Here we go, Graceland Trip. Well, my heart's free falling 100 flights below, blinded by your fire, dear. What a way to go. Come on, love, and kiss me dearly beneath the velvet mug. Hold me tight, treat me right. Won't you be true blue, true blue? I'm ready to rock, ready to roll, ready for a Graceland trip. I hear Jailhouse rock on the radio. Go, cat, go! Serenade me night and daily. Meet me at Chateau Creole. Sherry wine tastes so fine. Say you love me so, honey ho. I'm ready to rock, ready to roll, ready for a Graceland trip. I hear Jailhouse rock on the radio. Go, cat, go! Love is here, let's fly away. Baby, on my favorite holiday, so let's rock and hit the road, honey ho! Woo! Oh, ready to rock, oh, ready for a Graceland trip. I hear Jailhouse rock on the radio. Go, cat, go! Love is here, let's fly away. Baby, I'm my favorite holiday, so let's rock and hit the road. Let's rock and hit the road. Let's rock and hit the road.
Wow.
Look at her once.
Oh, man.
Watch the break.
Man, do it. Do it.
You know, not only do you have a great voice, you're wonderful to watch.
Isn't
It's just
she?
great,
Right.
yeah.
She's just got, yeah,
can't
she's
go wrong
so
with
fun.
Well, with the
Rockabilly.
full band, it's entirely different, but it's fun.
Ah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, I got a pick.
Elvis
Patricia
lives.
Vonne tossed me her pick. Yay.
Great rockabilly.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Terrific.
that's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show.
Yes,
so,
it is.
So both of you guys out there. You know, again, it is the holidays. What are some of your holiday traditions, Ken? I see you decorating, doing a great job with that.
Oh, just a little bit this year, not as much as I have in years past. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love to decorate, and I, do my tree and do things around the house. But I also really like to cook, and so every year, right about this time, I belong to a small, very intimate dinner club of about 6 of us, and we take turns at each other's house. And my turn usually falls at Christmas time, so I'm having them over. It's the night of your show, so I can't come. I just feel off. Say not of your show, Patricia. Otherwise, I would be there.
I will
But
Facebook Live it.
because I'm just really blown away by you. I think you're incredible. So I try to come up with interesting an interesting menu of
Sure.
multiple courses. This year, I'm going to attempt to make baked Alaska. We'll see if that
Wow.
happens.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and I like to do that, and of course with family, hang out with family. On Christmas Day, I have my brother and my sister live here, and they have their families, and I will spend time with I think all of them in one spot this year, or else I'll go to each of their to their houses. Our parents are no longer with us. I lost my mother last year, and so it used to be everyone went to Mom's house, or we all went to my sister's house out in Fair Oaks Ranch. So really, the whole reason for the season is to be with the people you love and to celebrate the birth of Christ. And so we believe very strongly in our family, and so we'll be together, and then I'll be together with very good friends, and then performing. You know, you have a lot of good gigs at Christmas time for not just something like at Sam's, but we do company parties, and I did a big black tie ballroom gala last week, and we'll continue to do things all the way through to the end of the year. And I think Patricia will agree, a good luck charm for all of us at the holiday season is if we have a New Year's gig. Yeah, so I'm definitely, I try to get one every year.
Oh, great. When is it? Great.
Mine's going to be a private one this year. I'm going to be at the San Antonio Country Club for that. But I often do clubs. But my point is, I think it's always a good omen for the coming year if you get to do a New Year's gig. Yeah. And I can speak, I guess, for myself, but I think I speak for everybody in the music business. We're so blessed to do what we love to do, and that people want to hear us. Yeah. And so it doesn't even really matter as long as you just continue to be able to entertain and be with people. So that's kind of for me, the whole season in a nutshell is basically what you try to do all year, but maybe it's a little bit more concentrated at Christmas time.
Yeah, because you said you had another gig coming up too after Sam's.
Oh gosh, no! You know what? It's the night you play. So I'm not gonna mention. I just realized. Okay. Well, December 19th is my birthday. So the good thing about being a musician is you get to hop around. Like on New Year's Eve, if I don't have a gig, hey, who does? I can go sit in.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. And that's the greatest thing about it being a musician. So on my birthday, I have 3. I'm definitely bringing my dad to your show.
Oh.
And I really do because he loves jazz.
Thank you.
Right before you, around 8 o'clock, you know, my girlfriend Las Coronelas, they're also performing around, you know. But I mean, I'm going to go hop around, and then my friend Rubin V also later on in the evening. So I promise you I will be there.
Oh, great. I look
definitely
forward to
going to bring my dad. We will be
so
on that dance floor.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because I'm going to be out there checking out too. So I'll be out there. We'll make a party of it.
Well, but I like what you're pointing out is that I think we all try to support our fellow musicians and singers in all different genres. I love all kinds of music. It doesn't have to be a jazz show. I love to go around and try to support them because, you know, we want to be supported. We need to share the love.
And it's important too, especially when you see, I don't know, it's just me, but when you see so many of these like pop stars that aren't really making music, like they're I don't know. I mean, I don't want to bash anybody who does what they do, but the point is, I see so many great musicians and performers that I feel like, man, these are the people I should be seeing and hearing all the time and be inundated with, not Nicki Minaj or something.
Well, Patricia, you have a show coming up in February, right, for Valentine's Day?
Yes, with the Tom Petty tribute band, the Damn Torpedoes, who are incredible.
Austin or San Antonio?
It's actually in Austin at the Parish, but they do come to San Antonio, and I have joined them on stage.
That's very cool.
They are an amazing tribute band, and we need Tom Petty music now more than ever.
Oh,
you know, whenever they play, you can feel his spirit in the room. It's just so amazing.
I regret that I never got to see him live. Like the other day, I was watching a performance of his, and I was like,
oh, he was a good man. Very thankful.
If he was not a songwriter and such a great musician, I think if he would just go out with just his voice, there's no way people are like, get out of here, kid.
Yeah.
But it's like that with so
the
many.
whole package.
There's so many. I see so many great. You know, I was watching Bob Dylan the other day. One of the shows where they have all the musicians come and Bob Dylan's on, and he comes up and he's and I'm thinking, if you put him on one of those American Idol type shows right now, they'd be like, what? But they don't get it. Like, no, it's his voice, there's character, and the songwriting, you know. So now everybody just wants someone who can, and that's it. Or
I think
rap.
we're living in an era of like really overdone vocal acrobatics. On those shows, you have to look at the way a person tells that story on stage, how he or she interacts with the audience. In your case, you're a songwriter, Patricia. I'm not, but I try to continue a really time-honored tradition of interpreting songs in the classic jazz genre, and try to make them as much my own as they can be when they're not really my own songs. But telling the story, it's all about storytelling, what we do. It really is. And some people connect really well with audiences and others don't. And I like to try to be the best I can at like having that. It's an in-the-moment thing. You can be packaged as a big pop star, but the best pop stars I've ever seen are the ones that the audience is in love with them. You know, I've also heard singers who were mechanically incredible, but they had no charisma. you know. But I'm not at all trying to criticize anyone, but I think it's the whole thing, and you can't necessarily, it's the whole package. You can't necessarily capture that on a tryout on a national TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Although, hey, if I could get on one of those national TV
Might as
shows,
well.
I would try.
I had a friend when I was in high school. I had a band. I used to sing for a band, and well, it was these guys who got together just to do this one big show. And the guitar player, he was amazing. This guy's name is Steve, amazing guitar player. And but he would literally like turn his back to the audience, like he just couldn't, it just made him so nervous to see people out there. And so he would just turn his back, and he would play amazing guitar work, but would not even look at the audience.
Oh, wow. But did his fans, were they okay with that?
They didn't care. It was high school. Everybody was high.
So, Roman, we need you to turn.
Turn, Roman, turn.
Do the
There you
show.
go.
Yeah.
And now, welcome to the...
He snagged it back. So, well, guys, I'm so glad that y'all were able to hang out and all that, and I guess Patricia too. You know, you mentioned you got a lot, but you got a big family. Y'all get together for the holidays.
Yes, we do.
I can imagine with 9 siblings and you and all their families, it must be quite a gathering.
Our tradition was my mom had this gigantic rosary.
Oh, wow.
You know those, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And when we were kids, she'd put it on the bed, and we'd say the rosary before we went to bed. And so when we get together for Christmas, it's basically kind of like that, holding hands and letting each person say what they're grateful for. And sometimes we're like this, because you know, we might have had a hard year or what, but at least we let people know, like, I have no idea, bro.
Wow, that's beautiful though.
But all the way around, you know, it's like, and then you just feel all fuzzy and
Roman, were you in Machete?
I love it. Yes, I had a little small. That's when I first met your brother. I was a kind of background extra in Machete, and so my face is on the screen when you see the movie.
Lucky.
And
I'm the only male Hispanic actor in San Antonio, South Texas, that has not been in a Robert Rodriguez.
Just
saying.
It's funny.
Yet.
Maybe you're not Mexican enough, bro. And so
For real?
maybe lose this.
Where were you at the
glasses.
auditions?
Yeah.
Where were you?
You know, it was funny because
We needed you.
I'm standing behind Michelle. She was in her little bra thing, right?
Rodriguez.
Michelle Rodriguez. And then and so I'm standing behind her trying to look tough. I've got guns and I'm trying to look tough. I just look constipated. I'm just like that. but then so your brother says, "Okay, Michelle, I need you to lean back, pull those guns out, and do this." And she goes, "I can't." She goes, "If I do that, lean back, you know, because this guy's getting a free show." She points to me, and I'm like, "Look, I'm really not getting paid much to be here, so I'm good with whatever." You know, and she was
Whatever
like,
happens,
so she's
happens.
laughing, and he's like, and he was just, he was real cool. And then at the premiere, they were at the studios after they had a after party. We got a good, got to
Purple
just
Rain.
chat for a minute and take a picture. You know, so cool guy. So I'm glad to hear that your family's like that you guys are real close like that. So
And so big, we can slip in and no one will know.
Right. They're like, who are these two guys?
Right.
We're all holding hands with your family, and we'd like to thank our blessings. Like,
I'm Rodrigo.
that guy, who's this guy?
They need extras.
Right, they need extras.
You know.
Bring the glasses, bro.
Bring the glass.
They needed it, a lot of people. So.
That's so funny. Oh yeah. But it was a blast. So, but anyways, guys, again, thanks so much, and I look forward to coming out to y'all's shows, hanging out, having fun.
And I'm so excited to meet Patricia and to hear her.
Isn't it
I mean,
great?
she's just tremendous.
Yeah.
It was a real joy. I'm really glad I got to meet you.
Yes, and
See you on my
And I
birthday.
really appreciate you having me on, and I know that we're both really happy to be with you.
And
Well,
thank you,
guys
everybody
are so-
watching or listening to the first ever Saturday Night Super Show with Ken Slavin.
Right, featuring your host Ken Slavin. So, all right, so kind of, I think Kareem has some of Patricia's music queued up for those listening right now.
Number 5.
We'll have that kind of play us out. So, hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and God bless. And be safe.
Friend, tell me that things have changed.
Wearing your wedding ring.
Blinded by a love so frightful. Come on, little lobo, throw a line, don't let go. Coming on strong, don't take me down low.